Episode 19. TATN. TATN. We in the building. NCAA. Pay for play. We're going to break down the how you can maintain your amateur status and still, potentially earn a bag of money, based on your image. We're talking in these United States, capitalism. Fancy that. So that's what we got. I'm going to drop that link in there for anybody who feels the has the self-confidence to pop up. Put it that way. But today's show, we're going to break down, going to go over some local sports updates that's local to Chicago. As always, we're going to touch on the Bears, news from camp. Also, the Bears, third preseason game against the Buffalo. Pay your bills. No. That was the Titans. My bad. They had the Titans this week. Of course, we got the Rams in a couple weeks, right here in my backyard, and then if there's anything trending in sports, any topics somebody wants to toss out, we'll roll through that, and then of course, NCAA pay for play. Dare we say? That's what we're on today. Last week we covered. So we had some great sports coverage. We had some great White Sox coverage actually by our baseball analyst. He's more of a White Sox analyst, if you ask me, and Jackie Robinson West analyst, if you ask me. He's not big on the Cubs. I didn't see him wearing Cubs jerseys during the Cubs run. But again, I wore Cubs jerseys pre-Cubs run, and I wear Cubs jerseys now. I'm not anti-Sox. It's just if it came down to a World Series with the Chicago Cubs playing against the Chicago White Sox, I'm going to root for the Chicago Cubs. I have my reasons. My grandmother, rest her soul, passed me the mantle, passed me the stick. I was a Sox fan like every other pre-prison criminal. What do you call these guys? Oh, my bad. Get you going over here. Pre-prison criminals running around the south side, the greater south side of Chicago. You know what I mean? So had my Sox gear on, and I mean, hell, both were losing. Neither one were winning World Series at this time. And go to my grandma's house. Harry Carey. It might have been the guy before him, but I'm pretty sure it was Harry Carey. Calling the game. I'm like, why do you listen to these bums? Yeah, seriously, Grandma, like these guys are bums. Nobody respects the Cubs. What do I know? I was a little snot-nosed kid. You know what I mean? I know she had been in the Cubs business for a long, long time, bro. She sat down and broke down the science of the Cubs to me. You know what I mean? The lovable losers, and told me, what it was all about, and from that day on, I, started taking a liking to the Cubs. I started watching them, bro. Listening to Harry Carey and then Steve Stone later. I think Tom Brenneman, and calling the game. And not many blacks out there, I'll admit. Again, I said on the show yesterday, I was living an Alex P. Keaton fantasy. But we got the co-host here. What up, Ace? We got Ace
What's going on
in the building. And Ace, let's get a short introduction because you popped in right on time. We're about to jump on topic. Anything you want to say on your intro, and then last week, anything you want to comment about last week's show, and then we'll go from there, bro.
I'm reserved today, but yeah. Hey, happy Thursday again. It was a good week for the kid. We had a block club party, and kids got to ride up and down the street uninhibited by the speeding motorists for a number of hours,
Nice.
enjoying their own block.
Getting to
So I
know
had a
each
good time.
other. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? Yeah,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So those are some things that still take place here in the city of Chicago in certain neighborhoods on certain blocks. Um, Not as often as it used to because you need a organizer
Well,
on the block.
Chicago has always been about a good block here and there. Just there are times when there are more good blocks than bad blocks. Right now, those good blocks are harder to come by. Go ahead, though.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just tough. The seniors on the block normally spearhead the
Yeah.
block club party on our blocks, and as they pass on and move on and
Mhm.
transition on to
They're
housing,
getting replaced by people from the projects, that they
yeah,
were scattering around. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And the only reason they want to meet you is to see what you got in so
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
time up
Yeah.
when you're leaving for a number of hours so they can come there when you're not there.
And the
Unfortunately.
Baphomet enjoys it because it sparks gentrification and flight and stuff like that. But go ahead, bro. Any intro, any JRW news, and then we'll jump on the topic.
No, JLW, we're in hiatus now, trying to get together for fall ball, hopefully in the next few weeks. But all the kids are spread out on different teams, travel teams. Um, so we'll probably have some kind of couple of skills camps on the players. But everybody's at this point working on their own individual skills to get ready for next season. That's what we're doing. But everything's good. Everything's good. Just me and T at
Uh,
home. Wife's in
yes.
Dallas.
Oh, word up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. With her mom and Big Joe for a birthday party. So I got to figure out who's going to take care of my son while I'm out helping the people.
I tell you what, though, prayers up to those cats on the East Coast. With the storms and man, the mother of
Yeah,
that tornado, boy. Whoo-wee.
yeah. Her aunt lives in New Orleans, and they drove to Dallas the day before the hurricane came. And man, there's a lot of damage there. Shout out to the people of Haiti. It's not getting a lot of press there. The earthquake they had and killed so many people, killed about 400 people,
And
injured about 2,000.
in Dubai, a couple of weeks they made rain, and so we do have the ability to change the weather. You can shoot lasers up towards condensation and create storm patterns, et cetera, et cetera. And
Yeah,
I'm not a scientist. I do believe that if you start a rain in the remember they did the butterfly effect. Remember that the physicists did that, the mathematician. So if you
yeah.
start a damn rainstorm in the desert, it probably would create a mother of all tornadoes. You know what I'm saying? In
Hurricanes
Philadelphia,
or
right?
tsunami, or earthquake,
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
there's anything unnatural is going to spur some kind of reaction from Mother Nature.
Has to,
Yeah,
you know, has to, bro. Imagine if somebody created some sort of reaction in your body. You know what I mean? Some part of your body decided they wanted more water in an area that's not supposed to have water. It's going to
yeah.
create, yeah. You know
Something's
what I
gonna happen
mean?
somewhere else.
Something has to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, we digress. All right, bro. So yeah, so great coverage. But anything about the Sox going on, man? This week, quick updates.
Sox are playing well. Yasmani Grandal, their starting catcher, came back this week, and he's been knocking the cover off the ball. I mean, he's got like 4 or 5 home runs this week. So every time they bring one of those players back off the injured list, they're stepping right in and destroying the ball. First, it was Eloy Jimenez,
Mm-hmm.
then came Robert, and now it's
Mm-hmm.
just Manny Grandal. So those guys they're gonna be looking good for the upcoming late October series. Hopefully, it's going to take us right into a world championship here in the city of Chicago. See if those other kids can hang, those other teams, only to shy and make it happen. But yeah, they're playing well. Even the Cubs picked up a couple games.
Saw that.
Sox playing pretty well.
Are they juicing up, bro?
No. I mean, you got 3 home run hitters coming to play after doing their minor rehab stints.
Yeah.
Toward the end of the season, so they're juiced up by being fresh. They haven't had to go through the grind of this long season. So every time they hit the ball, they're crushing it. So I think it's just the fresh legs, fresh arms, and
nothing to do with cocaine. We're not going to have any. We're not going to have any sports history. 5 years. You know how they do it. They do a nice little show on ESPN about it. Yeah, we were all on. Yeah,
they're greatest. They're the greatest.
We were juicing up, and
here come Bubba Franks.
Yeah,
Bubba was a local cocaine salesman, and somehow he infiltrated the clubhouse. I don't think.
Man, you remember the New York Mets? They had all those Spanish name players. They came out of nowhere, was ripping the ball. My man was like, he could see the stitches. One of them said he was so high, the fastball was coming. He can count the stitches on the ball. And you know how fast a major league ball is coming.
Fastball is coming, yeah. You get about a quarter of a second to
like, I don't think that was coke. You had some speed or something. You were slowing it down like that, man. And
give me the mix.
Yeah. And what's their name? Villanova. Remember Villanova went on that run. Was shooting like 68. Everybody's last name was McLean. You remember?
Yeah. Well, I don't know who the supplier was up there in New York between Lawrence Taylor and the Mets.
I'll tell you who it was. I'm not going to say it was the CIA. Not on this platform. I wouldn't say something like that.
Allegedly.
Hey, but so today on Mouthpiece Included, we're going to get into eventually collegiate athlete or amateur athlete pay for play. Right now we're going over what's trending and everything. I just had a text from a buddy telling me to put my shades on. That's a different show. All right, we don't wear the self right.
Yeah, he doesn't want to see your eyes.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't wear the. Thanks for your support, by the way, but we don't wear the self-love vision on. And that's something special about the Thursday show. You know what I mean? We got people, we want to see your eyes. And then we got other people, put your glasses back on. You know what I mean? So, you could please some of the people some of the time, and you can tell most of them to shut the fuck up.
Kiss my ass. Invoke the meal.
Yeah. Yes. You know what I mean? All right. So let's get back on topic here. I digress. So you were going through the Sox. Was that all for your Sox coverage? Because then I'm going to jump into the Bulls coverage. I had nothing to add on the Sox,
Yeah, they
still first place?
Yeah, absolutely. They're 10 games up. Giolito went out the other night early because of hamstring. But I think, they're just trying to make sure that these guys are ready for.
Yeah, they're making up injuries, phantom injuries, so they can rest them and set them out and have them ready for the stretch run.
Yeah. When the game's
like
really
if you get a slight tweak on a hammy, if you're right, if it was closer, you know what I'm trying to say, that slight tweak, he would probably be out there. They're like, if you get a sniffle, sit down. We don't, So you said they're deep, bro, with the farm and everything. They looking good all through the system.
I can't comment on the farm, but I know as far as the big club, they're straight. I mean, most of the team is pretty young.
Is the black GM getting the credit like the way Theo was getting all the credit and showing Theo in town and calling him smart?
Well,
are they following him around town and calling him smart?
He's the vice president. The GM is actually Rick Hahn.
I don't care who the GM is. Are they following around that black guy and
absolutely
saying he's smart?
Absolutely
Right.
not.
Right.
You know how that goes.
Yeah, you know how smart the vice president. You know how smart those Bears are.
Bears. Oh,
We're gonna
yeah.
get to the yeah, we're gonna get to the Bears in a minute. Let me do my Bulls coverage. People, I didn't look into the Bulls at all this week, so I have no news. If anybody has any Bulls news, now would be the time. You can pop in. The link's on. Ace, did anything happen? Any Bulls
It's some
news happen all
moves.
week?
They traded Laurie Marketing, and they got a
Did they? Did they? He was
yeah,
supposed to be in the future when we moved. They were high on him when we moved Jimmy Butler and whatever, and we
yeah.
got him and. Mm-hmm. They
Talk
went out and
to
got the kid from Finland or something. He's from
yeah,
Tough. He's from the
but
streets of Finland.
yeah. I mean, he might go to one of these teams that want the guy just kind of out there and shoot 3-pointers and not play any defense, get any rebounds or
yeah. Well, they don't expect anything from him, and if they get
yeah,
anything, it's a bonus. And
yeah,
the coach doesn't have any personal pride to
yeah.
keep him on the end of the bench.
So yeah, they got they did a sign and trade and got him a leaper.
A leper?
Leaper.
Is there a vax for that?
Leaper.
I thought you said a leper. You know, with all these diseases going around now, coming out of China. Yeah, you never know. Yeah. Leprosy, and you're gonna have to come get the vaccine. You're gonna get another shot.
Chicago, give him the jab, you'd be fine.
Yeah. Just we got the jab. The jab is ready for everybody. All right. Yeah, so here we go. All right. So they got a leaper. Is he colored?
Yeah. I think his name is Derek Jones Jr. or something.
Oh, okay. Right.
Came
not some
from out west. No, it's not.
Wow. Out west, like you talking about Westinghouse, Collins, Cobras, something like that?
Like Portland or
it's a West Coast high yellow.
Coaster. Yeah.
High yellow. Mm-hmm. Funny looking.
No,
eyes.
he's comical play. He's not. They've got enough high yellow players.
Looks like he might have hung out with the Bloods and Crips or something at some point. Maybe grew up.
I can't comment on his affiliation at this time.
All right. I'm just trying to see if he's one of us or is he one of them.
No, he's one of us.
All right.
Yeah,
all right.
He probably could have. Yeah.
What position is he playing?
Does have a low rider. I think he's playing at 30.
All right.
3 or 4.
All right. Yeah. Well, because the Bulls, man, I'm telling you, one thing I like the moves they've been making, bro.
Yeah, and he picked up a draft pick with him, so they got rid of.
Who are they gonna get? A Laurie Markkinen? They're gonna go out and find another Laurie Markkinen with that pick?
No.
Somebody from Finland?
I think they've got rid of those guys. Just looking for the Finnish guys.
And I think they finally listened to the coach. Ace, that's like, man, you managing and doing what you're doing and got your team flirting with the Little League World Series every year. And I purchase a team or I come in there, trying to tell you, yeah, go out and get this kid. He's from the tough streets of Highland Park. You know what I mean? I'm not saying those kids can't compete,
Right.
Don't get me wrong. Right.
But you never know.
It's, the edge that Jackie Robinson has is that edge. Man, they carry that edge even throughout the city of Chicago. So it's going, when they're going out.
Yeah, it got tougher with COVID. The kids had to stay in the house for a year.
Lost their edge. Lost their street toughness.
Their edge, but
they lost their street toughness.
They
weren't seeing dead bodies on their way to school. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All that tough stuff you get in Chicago. They were in the house, safe, in the air conditioning.
Yeah, playing video. Living virtually.
So anything else about the Bulls before we move on? But I promise you guys, next week I'll be more into the Bulls. I have my jersey on and everything.
They did. I think that's the only real move they made. But they're looking okay. Yeah, they're going to be a straight 1, 2, 3, 4 team. I don't think they got a 5. But,
yeah,
that's the NBA now.
Well, we're gonna move on. We got a comment though from H. Moultrie at 7:23 p.m. my time.
Okay.
United Center wants you to be vaccinated or show a negative COVID-19 result within 48 hours to enter for Bulls and Blackhawk games. We might have to cover that as a topic You know, the way they're rolling out this at the sports arenas. You know what I mean? The policies. We got to cover that, Ace.
I mean, come on, it's going to be everybody. It's going to be the whole country, basically. You know, just for because of the Delta variant and liability. You know, they want to like, hey, we did something. We asked them if they had the card or a negative test.
They said a test result within 48 hours before the game. I'll tell you what, you better be playing above 500 ball if you expect me to be trying to come watch you play under that shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you better have a Michael Jeffrey Jordan in there. It's going to take a lot more than you better have the other ball boy. What's his name? I'm not talking about
D'Angelo.
Yeah, we're not talking about D'Angelo. Yeah, that guy is singing naked, for God's sakes.
Okay. D'Angelo,
talking about the one that got drafted. Yeah, LaMelo. That's him. The good one.
Yeah, that's Michael Jordan's kid. He's playing for Jordan.
Yeah, and then Moultrie said, "You." It's a series of the letter U. He said, "Better get that jab." So I guess I don't know who he's referring to. I don't discuss, my medical profile on public forums. You know what I mean? Might as well talk about a hemorrhoid. You want to hear it? I tell you, my hemorrhoid popped and I can smell it. You want to hear that? You want me to type that in the chat? How much of my medical stuff do you guys want to know about? But you know what I mean? I digress. Yeah, it's personal. It's none of your damn business. All right, here we go, Ace. Yeah, we're on topic here, Coach. Thanks for your support. Yes, and if you want to know what the topic is, Coach, look at the title on the screen, and also the link is in the chat. You're welcome to pop up. Now, so we shot through the Bulls. Now, this is where I want to be. The Titans game, bro. Now, as you know, per me usual, I didn't watch it, but I did watch the highlight reel one of my YouTube channels runs where they run every single pass play by the kid. So thoughts? What's your thoughts on that game, bro? On the kid, the quarterback?
Same thoughts I had the whole preseason. Man. He's special. He's gonna be the guy to break all of those records that we've had for the last 100 years. Like the Red Grange and what's the guy who holds all the Bears records? Played 70 years ago.
Yeah, Flappy McFlippy Cakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. He played for the 22 Corny Whackers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know you're talking about the other guy. Yeah, he's not that old. He played like in the 50s or 60s. Yeah, if you wouldn't have asked me. Yeah, if you wouldn't have asked me, I'd have known it. Yeah. But this kid, let me say this, bro. You and I, we've been debating whether or not to play the kid. And you see, Belichick always makes moves that I would make. I mean, from the deflating of the footballs to the recording the other team's walkthroughs. If I could get that access, I'd do it. If nobody
You're not cheating, you're not trying.
If explicitly they didn't say you can't record these guys, if they let you in there and your people sit right down there and pull out a camera and start recording and the other coach and everybody's dumb enough to watch it happen, then hell. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right. I thought it was okay. They didn't mind. I didn't hide the camera. But my point is, if you're not cheating.
Right in my hand.
Yeah, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. So Ace, Belichick had no problem. He even had, in my opinion, a better veteran, a former MVP, kid who's not a ginger, maybe has melanin. And they had similar stats, preseason stats, both completed like 70% of the passes. Cam had, gotten himself to where he looked like he was more comfortable in the system. And what did Bill Belichick do? There was $5 million hanging over the table. Cam didn't get the jab. Both of them are, similar. Cam had to miss 3-4 days of practice. Cam is in there listening to that street drill rap music. Cam is at camps, arguing with, little black kids about whose parents make the most money. I mean, you didn't see that smart white guy. What was the quarterback that plays for Tampa now? You know what I'm talking about. They call him Brady. Yeah, Brady.
Yeah, Tom Brady.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't ever think of his name because I always think of him with that hat, "Make America Great Again." But what I'm saying is you never saw Tom Brady at a camp arguing with little blonde-haired, blue-haired white kids about whose dad makes more money and things of this nature.
Yeah,
So
they
the
could
point
get
I'm
close.
making, right. They wouldn't be that close talking to Tom, and Tom's security would beat the crap out of him and taking his phone, and none of the video would have made it public. But the point I'm making, and then I'll throw it to you, is that Bill Belichick pulled the trigger. Nobody's blowing a dog whistle and saying that this white kid that's quarterback in there, is going to have trouble processing, and they talk about our quarterback, the black kid. Yeah, I'm surprised. I was surprised that many quarterbacks come in and they just lock in on one receiver. So you couldn't figure out that this son of a bitch just locks in on one receiver before you drafted him with a third overall pick. It took you 2-3 seasons to figure out that Cutler is just locking in on one receiver and not paying attention to nothing else that's going on.
Took me
Like
1
what
minute.
I'm saying, Ace, and yes. Give me a quarter and a half. Let me watch some game film. And so now Belichick, he cut Cam, which I don't necessarily agree with. I think Cam may have asked to be cut, but he cut Cam and he went with the kid. Now it's
Yeah.
real easy for nobody saying it. Oh, this kid can't process. Now, what's your thoughts on all of that?
Well, I mean, Belichick has got 7 chips. So, who's going to doubt him in the room? Cam is not of the New England Patriots culture. I was surprised that he even was invited back this year as having a chance to be a quarterback.
They had to satisfy the Rooney rule because they had Brady all those years. But go ahead.
So I was not surprised, and Cam probably wasn't surprised that he was cut from the team. Now, being a football mind, you'd think that they would want an established veteran behind this rookie that's going out there and trying to experience the NFL for the first time. Just, somebody to talk to. And, Cam was playing the role as an older brother, I guess, in the quarterback's room. But, it's not the New England way. They don't hang on to players when they think they're past their prime. They don't pay players that are past their prime, and they don't pay players that they don't think they can get the most out of. So,
and they paid the best player for the position. The only exception to that would be is if Ace, you're going to make 10 times as much more money than me, and you're older, and I'm younger, and I'm going to make 10 times less money than you, and you might just be a little bit better. You know what I mean? They'll cut you, and then in that scenario, and keep me, and that's how I would move. Yeah. They've showed you, the model.
It works.
Man, listen, when you could, the message, I was telling y'all that, and they'd be thinking, oh, Mills is being overbearing again. When I was like, man, I'd have, the ginger carrying the rookie's bags, and if he don't like it, you can hit the streets. This is what we're about to do. This is what my meeting is. That's what Belichick's meeting was with Cam.
Right.
We're about to be in charge of showing him everything, tying up his shoes for him, getting him Gatorade. We saw you trying to cheerlead for him at the end of the game. You saw Cam chasing the rookie down. Hey, great play. And the rookie's ignoring him. Yeah, you saw that. Yeah. That was his end right there.
That was a swan song.
So correct. That was it. Belichick saw that and said, oh my God, you never would have seen Brady do something like that.
This month. Yeah.
Right. Whose team is it? Correct. You never would have seen Michael Jordan doing that. And then you saw Cam talking to him. You left me hanging. Probably said a bunch of unnecessary stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then didn't even get the jab. So they're probably looking at him like, look at him. He's spreading the Delta variant all through the fucking place. You know what I'm saying?
Now, he's out partying too. And they had 20 players sit out last year because of COVID.
Correct.
How can you have a guy in the quarterback room that didn't want to get the jab for the team, and you got 20 players that set out because of COVID the year before?
And now the league, because of last year, they got a new rule where it's going to be like just 5, like you just lose, you just forfeit. You're right. You know what I mean? Yeah, if you
No
come in with
Tuesday
that
night
COVID.
or Thursday morning games and none of that crap.
Nah, yep. They said ain't none of that. If you've COVID and you can't get a roster out there, whatever, that's it.
Mm.
So that's why teams now are saying, well, we really don't want you on our roster if you ain't took the jab.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm saying, Ace, if our quarterbacks were in Bill Belichick's quarterback room,
Yeah.
I don't think Andy Dalton would have came out of there with that job.
They would never sign.
But well, maybe not. Yeah, you're right.
Because they already had Nick Foles. They already had a version of Andy Dalton. They had Nick Foles on the roster. So you lucked up and you were able to draft Justin Fields in the draft. So why would you add an Andy Dalton to the roster as well? You think he's going to lead you to 9 wins as opposed to 8? I mean, come on.
Well, they had picked up Andy Dalton, and then when Fields was left available, that's when they decided to make the move and go at him. So they were being ignorant. They didn't have Fields on their radar. They didn't have Mac Jones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nah.
These quarterbacks were available.
Correct. They were out there, and they knew they were going to be out there, and but they this dude fell in their lap.
Yeah, they should have drafted a quarterback last year and this year, but
And it seems like they didn't have to give up all the picks they did. They could have came out with Jones or Fields. Although I'm loving we got Jones, but when I found out, man, they did it again. They gave up a shitload of picks again. Damn, where are we getting all these picks from, bro? The Bears, they give up 3 1s to move up every 2 years.
Well, I mean, if they trade Nick Foles this draft, they'll probably get a 3 or a 4 for him. And
well, if they call, in fact, I reached out to him. I'm a middleman. If they call Diesel, yeah, they can get a 2 or a 3 for him. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you see all these teams clamming for the former MVP, Cam Newton? You see how his phone's ringing?
Yeah.
Yeah. He said, Moultrie said Newton was expendable because the Patriots won the Super Bowl and had a low pick after Brady left. So they got a better pick for Mac Jones the following year. So you start the kid. I mean, you don't start the kid if he's not the best for the job.
Yeah.
That kid, yeah. But remember I told you, Ace, they were setting up from the beginning, Mac Jones. It was so much pressure on. He's out playing Cam, and look at Cam, he threw an incompletion. It was like Cam was like 1 for 3 in the first preseason game, and it was all about Mac Jones. All through practice, all through camp, Mac Jones, and they said Cam had a good camp.
Well, it's New England. Come on. What do you expect?
Yeah.
They traded away Mookie Betts from the Boston Red Sox right over to the Dodgers. Won them a chip.
Well, yeah, we'll see. So, what's your over under, bro? What week do you think? Okay, so I'm saying week 7. So, what's your over under as far as when the kid's gonna take over the reins? You say before week 7 or after week 7?
Probably week 4 or 5. Whatever home. I don't have the schedule in front of me, but whatever home game you get between week 4 and 6, he'll be starting.
Yeah, I got a schedule. They're at home in Green Bay in week 6. You starting them that game? Week 7, they're at the Super Bowl champs Tampa, or runner-ups, whatever they was. Week 8, they're at home against San Fran. So I got the over/under at week 7 at Tampa. Nobody's going to start them there. Yeah. No. Well, So you're saying week 8 would be at home versus San Fran. Then they got a bye week in week 10, and week 11 is versus Baltimore at home.
Yeah.
Before week 7 is at home for versus the Packers. Week 4 that you're talking about would be Detroit. Is that what you're talking about? Detroit?
Yeah.
I could see that. At home against Detroit, week 4. Go on the road against Las Vegas, which is the Chargers. I could see that. right? Gamble a
Raiders.
little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, Raiders. Yeah, Raiders. Let him be a punky QB.
yeah,
And then, yeah, and then come home, beat the crap out of the Green Bay Packers, and just
yeah,
earn the hearts of the city of
yeah.
Chicago forever and ever and ever. Even the
Break Aaron
racists.
Rodgers' neck, and I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
I don't like
yeah.
injuring players, but this is his last year there, and
Well, if I didn't do it, go ahead, bro.
just go on a run. Yeah, week 4 against Detroit, and let's take it from there. Whatever happens, happens.
Now, if I didn't do it then, I'd start him after the bye week, which is week 10. So week 11 coming out of the bye, he'd have enough to prepare. It's a 12 o'clock game on CBS. It ain't on national TV, although they'll probably move it to national TV because it's versus Baltimore. I start him
Yeah,
against that black kid. You know what I mean?
yeah. They
I
got a
mean, you
couple
know what I
black
mean?
guys.
Yeah.
The second
Yeah,
black
they hit
guy
hard.
is, I think, is a little faster than the first.
Man, Ace, you didn't tell me that our quarterback, this guy's running a 4.4 and they got him sitting behind a ginger?
Yeah,
This guy runs a 4.4?
4-4. Yeah, yeah, he does. Yeah,
He
but
runs a 4.4.
yeah, quarterback.
Bro, that's Michael Vick speed.
Well, Andy Dalton can process the game a little bit quicker because he's an experienced quarterback and maybe get him to
Yeah,
one
but
and
that's what they
two.
keep talking about. How he runs, how he commands the huddle, and how he calls his plays. I don't give a rat's fat ass about that.
Right. This kid needs to be out there playing. Absolutely. So,
So that's when I would do it, bro. If it's so by then, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't do it then there's a home game week 15 versus Minnesota, and that's when the whole season's gone to shit. And you
yeah, I
tell that
wouldn't wait.
kid, right,
I wouldn't
right,
wait that long.
right. I wouldn't either. Yeah, yeah.
I'd let him go out there and get his brains beat in against the Rams in the first game. Let the ginger run around there and let Aaron Donald choke him to death on the ground. Then he gets a game against Cincinnati and Cleveland. And if you can't win those games, come on. Well, Cleveland's going to be a tough game, but Cincinnati, we can't beat them. You know, they're looking at being 1-2 going into game 4. And yeah, it's time to make that home.
All right, all right. So, Ace, are you familiar with the NCAA? The Bill of Rights. It's sponsored by Cory Booker.
They got an anti-slavery Bill of Rights for the NCAA.
Well, Cory Booker is, I don't know who he thinks he is, and I'd love to get a DNA lineage check on him.
Yeah.
Something just smells funny about him. You know,
Okay,
him
cool.
and Kamala. Yeah.
Booker McFarland's cousin, Cory Booker.
Yeah, man. But he's championing the bill, and so college athletes' Bill of Rights. So he's the sponsor. He introduced it. It's
If
to protect the rights. What's that?
if they're giving them anything, you know, there's got to be some kind of caveat somewhere. They're taking something.
Of course,
So,
there always is. There always is. They're not giving them anything. The money's coming from advertisers.
yeah,
None of this is coming out of the university's pockets.
but it was going directly to the NCAA. They had all of it. They were getting everything. But these advertisers want to get on these plays before they get to the league. You know,
right. They weren't getting them like they about to get them now. You know what I'm saying? Even when, right. So it was just a university saying, no, you can't do it. You can't take Ace's son while he's at my college, even though it's Ace's son and the father is okay with it. You can't take Ace's son and put him in a pair of blue jeans and Nikes and let him get in a magazine and do an ad and give Ace's son a check for that. That's downright anti-American.
It sure is. And especially when you have other athletes in different sports that are able to gain endorsement, like track and field. And
Correct.
why is it? Because the football is a revenue generating and basketball is revenue generating. That
Correct.
you had them on these plantation for all of it.
And if you want an academic scholarship, which I hadn't looked into, for those kids, are they able to go out there and make money off their likeness? Does the NCAA get involved in their business? Say if your kid scored a perfect on the SAT and ACT, one of those kids, graduated high school at 14, you know what I mean? Would the colleges get involved and say no, you can't make money?
Absolutely not, because they can develop a app or some type of
correct
ACT or SAT knowledge-based program, and there's nothing the NCAA can do.
Because
there's no sanctions, there's nothing in place, there's no precedent except for football, basketball, and probably hockey.
Facts. All right, so I'm just going to give a quick overview of this bill. It was established to protect the rights of college athletes and to establish the commission on college athletics and for other purposes. So obviously I'm not going to read all of it, skip a lot of this pork that they throw right at you at the top to just make you not want to read further. But basically, let's see, where am I? Grant likeness, college athlete rights and protections. Okay, 1 second. Pass all these terms. All right, here we go, Ace. My bad. All right. In general, subject to a limitation pursuant to paragraph, get out of that. A person may not use the name, image, likeness, or athletic reputation of any member of a group described in paragraph 1 to sell or promote any product unless the person obtains a license from the group for that purpose. So they're saying that you can't, use the college's, logos and stuff like that.
That belongs to them.
Yes, correct. It's anti-American for you to use their trademark, logos, but your children belong to you. You can't. It's crazy, but at least they got over it, and they got backdoored, bro, because the governor who they're trying to impeach here, we're voting on that. He's the one who said that he's going to start letting these students in California make money, and that's where, everything started coming off of the Pandora. That's where you couldn't put the toothpaste back in the toothpaste bottle.
Well, that's probably why the Republicans spearheaded a campaign to get him out of there, because he's messing up
some
money.
Powerful people. That's exactly right. I thought that too, Ace. Yeah. So he pissed off some old money and some powerful people, and he was out here messing with the FOP, talking defund and all of that.
Oh
yeah. Oh yeah, they went back there and smoked them some cigars, probably at the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah. Had a big old party, like, yeah, we got to get rid of this. We got to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, NCAA. You know how much money we've been making off of those kids for all these years. There's no way. It doesn't make sense. They get scholarships.
And right. And while he's governor, he's got all that Secret Service and extra protection. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We can just kill them right off once we get them out.
Well, you notice your boy Tekashi 6ix9ine, you don't see him running around trolling as much no more. Those albums stopped selling, and I don't think he can have that big security army as much. So he probably goes out like once every 2 or 3 times a month, gets the team, you know what I mean? But he used to be out every day. Nobody can afford that.
No. I mean, it's amazing. It was amazing when we were in school to see those, all those jerseys selling. with the Flying Illini there, and you know, they couldn't reap any of those rewards because it was the university's property.
They couldn't
Although it's
even
their
go into a
number.
store and the store and you say you own the store, Ace, and you say, "Oh, Marcus Liberty, man, here, take the jersey." They couldn't even do that. Hey, Marcus Liberty's dad, man, hey, take the jersey. They couldn't even do that.
Yeah, yeah, it's absolutely asinine because
Asinine.
the jersey means nothing without the player. It's just a jersey.
Ace, you could be serving burgers. You could be the ice cream man and see the best player on the campus and say, "Here, just take an ice cream." They couldn't even do that.
It's crazy, absolutely. And then you have, some of these universities where the players will try and sell some of the swag they get from bowl games or, Final Fours, and, universities,
Remember they were selling
NCAA,
a signatures. Yeah,
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 cracking down on them for trying to
yeah,
eat.
yeah, yeah.
Well, we take care of you. You got a training table. Yeah, you don't pay for me to go home. You don't pay for my little brother to do this, that, and the other. All you're paying for is uh, the things you can monetize. It's a
Well,
long
and that's
time
the.
coming.
Go ahead, bro.
It's a long time coming, but it's probably got a long way to get to the point where it's really going to be beneficial to the majority of athletes. I keep hearing about the superstar or you know, high octane athletes, getting deals off of uh, this endorsement change, like Master P's son, who does we don't even know if he can play basketball, got an endorsement deal. Um,
Who are you talking about? Romeo, Lil Romeo?
no, Mercy Miller. I guess he's the youngest.
Damn, ain't Lil
Got a,
Romeo 30 something? I guess he can get a college scholarship.
no, he got a younger son, Mercy Miller, that
Mm-hmm.
just got an endorsement deal.
Yeah, he
So
got 2 million.
yeah, so I think they're just propping their, and Primetime Son just got a deal from someone. So
So only the rich Illuminati plugged in people's kids getting these deals, or and then the white
well,
ones, or any
that's how it
regular
started
everyday
out now.
black kid. Right,
That's
the white people and the rich,
yeah.
right, and the rich and the rich.
So they'll as the tax laws or whatever starts get massaged, you
Uh,
know, little Johnny will get him an endorsement deal for $500,000 from his dad's company or his uncle's company or his dad's friend's company, and all he has to do is sign with a school. So it's
yeah.
it's 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 something that's been people have been waiting for years, but it's going to be hard to control.
All right. Well, look, I'm park it right here. I'm gonna go over read this quick article, y'all. This is from SB Nation, the congressional bill that would expand college athletes' rights explained. So it's an overview of the bill. On December 17th, Senator Cory Booker's, he's a Democrat from New Jersey, and Rich Blumenthal introduced the College Athletics Bill of Rights. Over the years, various bills and initiatives to increase privileges and rights for student athletes competing in NCAA have rolled out. So they can figure this out, but they can't figure out reparations. But we're going to keep this going. Why student athletes are not paid currently. Under the current NCAA rules, student athletes must maintain their amateur status. This means that college athletes cannot receive payment for playing a sport, funding to offset training expenses, except prize money based on performance, be represented or marketed by a sports agent or professional, promote or endorse commercial products, and much more, like even receiving um, health preferential health treatments related to injuries. If the rules stated above do not make it hard enough for student athletes to make money, one in particular truly puts the hammer on any chance they would have to generate revenue. That rule is that student athletes can't even make money from their name, image, or likeness. That rule meant that Trevor Lawrence, the white boy, see, this is when this became a problem, former quarterback at Clemson, did not make money from the images of him plastered all over the Southeast and across the country. It means that Jalen Suggs, a guard from Gonzaga, cannot walk into any establishment and receive an item or service for anything less than the regular price because people recognize him. I mean, you can't even get 20% off, Ace. It also means that Rihanna Davis, forward for Tennessee, cannot let any company use her name as a marketing ploy to get more customers. So, what the College Athletics Bill of Rights would change. Under the current Bill of Rights, there would be significant changes to the distribution of money in sports. Most notably, student athletes would get a cut of the division's profit from their revenue generating sport after their scholarship is deducted. You hear this? Man, they recouping. It's like the big record companies. But okay, so after the scholarship is deducted. So now if I went to your school and I got so you ain't even giving me a scholarship. All right, but okay, but keep in mind, this only pertains to sports where the revenue from the season exceeds the cost of scholarships across the entire division. That the only sports that meet that criteria currently are football, men's and women's basketball, and baseball. The profits generated for each sport would be equally shared among the scholarship athletes of that particular sport. In addition to sharing the profit, um, the school and division generate athletes will be allowed to sign brand deals and participate in endorsements. Under this bill, athletes would no longer be restricted on the type or brand of shoe they wear to mandatory team activities. Yeah, Ace, that's another way the schools were making money. This opens the door to endorsement deals that have never been possible. It's about more than money. We're going to skip that. But they do say it's about healthcare, and you may know this more than me, Ace. Once I end this, I'll throw it to you. What they said is that many athletes, and they have injury. They get injuries while they're playing, and some of it linger on in their scholarship. Yes, past their scholarship, and they're on their own. Yeah. So this would cover them. So it was a meat market. Um, let's see here. And so the last paragraph, hold on, Ace. What does this mean for college sports? This means that as early as August 2021, that's where we are now, college sports could look a whole lot different. Governor Gavin Newsom, the power in the Senate, ultimately be interesting. Okay. All right. So that's it, Ace. We'll light you back up. So now and I think that did a good summary of what they were trying to do, with the bill. And so, like you said, man, the day one, these kids start signing contracts, man, just fat deals. How's this going to affect? Is this going to affect college athletes for you? Like, is it going to make you, when you're watching the game, say, "Oh, these guys are rich. I don't want to watch it."
Nah. I mean, that's a good question because I don't want to watch the NBA. I don't necessarily believe it's because they're rich. I mean, I think it's because they changed the game to the point that it's unwatchable until maybe the playoffs. So, I mean, as long as the level of competition is there, because you will draw more athletes, maybe to stay as opposed to jumping
Kobe
to
would
the
have done at
professional
least
level.
1 year. Facts. Yeah. LeBron would have played at least one. Go ahead. Yeah, good point.
So, I don't think it will defray people from watching. It just will change the level of control that the university has over these players. I mean, maybe the coach isn't getting a $5 million shoe contract now because the player can pick his own shoes. He can go to Team Jordan. I don't want to wear the Adidas the team is wearing.
You say conceivably a young Isaiah Thomas could have had a higher net worth than a Bobby Knight. Conceivably, you got it's a whole nother dynamic, ain't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you mean you want me to get on the line and run? You get on the line and run.
Yeah. But it will change the sport. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
because you heard when Jordan came out of North Carolina, he had no idea or loyalty or anything, knew anything about Nike. But, luckily, his mother convinced him to take that deal, and yeah, it's
You
gonna.
think it'll do something to the hunger of the players?
Well, um, I don't think many of them are that hungry now, so probably not. You're gonna have people that just are naturally gifted, and as far as basketball is concerned, that's all they draft anyway. Because you can barely find enough players to get out of the first round.
Hey, so
when we were kids and there was like 10, 12 rounds of the NBA draft.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they can't even get past one round of,
And
acceptable players.
in college football and a lot of these, it's become vogue to, if you're not playing for anything in that season and you're about to turn pro, to not play or lay down. The
Get out.
analytics show don't play hard. Yeah, so that's hurting competition already. So now on the flip side, you can say, well, if this kid is already, at least knows he's set for life, at least knows he's bought his mom a house, at least knows
Right.
he's out of the trenches, right? He might be able to let go and play hard and afford a higher Lloyd's of London insurance policy, to
Yeah.
cover himself, for an injury and let go. And maybe college sports can get better, is what I'm saying.
Or a sponsor may want him to play in that bowl game instead of sitting out.
Correct. They they're going to demand it. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're running commercials and everything, right? Yeah,
you got to play.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so and you're right, because now those who are having the big bowl games, if the sponsors are smart, they're thirsty now. I would be signing people, when they right after they win it, the MVP. I'm going to Disney World. Right after they win that, yeah, he's the guy I'm signing. That's the guy
Right.
getting the big contract. He's
Yeah.
already got a foot in college ball, earned something, and yes, yeah.
Especially if you can get him young like Trevor Lawrence was when he won that championship.
Oh
Or
man, you can get you a 6'6" white boy like that, boy,
freshman. Oh my gosh.
in
Oh,
America.
America.
And this kid
America.
is saying all the right things. I mean, he even
Yeah.
comes off cool to black people. He doesn't come
Yeah.
off smart.
Because the quarterback before him that won championships, he liked the massages, but this
Yeah.
kid's he's pure.
I'm sure he likes the massages too. He's just smart about it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go over the ones who are already getting paid real quick. There's an article, you kind of mentioned some of them. So let's just talk about it. This is from who's this article from? Sports Infinity cable. NCAA athletes can officially get their paydays on Wednesday. We know that they changed the rule. So under the rule change, college athletes get paid from their social media accounts. Yeah. See, how could they not even get that? Hey, so they're telling me that if your son had 1 million followers based off what he did in high school, once he got to college, somehow, what's that got to do? Right? That's
You
just
couldn't
stupid.
monetize that. That's absolutely crazy.
But now they're saying when you do monetize it, you got to get a scholarship money back. What do I need y'all for? What?
Right. So it's time to develop our own basketball
Amateur
university.
league. Yeah.
Baseball universities.
Yeah. Where it's just a trade school. We're going to teach you trades. Yeah.
You're training.
Yeah. Teach you trades, and you're going to work on your sport or whatever, teach you how to cut hair, trades for if you blow your knee out and everything goes wrong. Right. Yeah.
We're going to teach you how to speak to the media. Sign these deals.
How to eat to live, how to take care of your body, how not to get grifted by lawyers and yeah.
They don't want to go to college. I mean, come on. Some of them do, but
Right, some of them do, and that's different. Right.
Yeah.
Right, and those they usually come from parents who went. But let's do this. So what they're saying is So social media accounts they can now get paid from. They can broker endorsement deals. We've discussed autograph signings now, and all the stuff they were mad at Chris Webber about. Other other financial opportunities, and they can use an agent or representatives to do so. In addition to partnerships, many student athletes will use their personal brands, mainly built on their social media platforms, to earn money. University of Oregon women's basketball player Sedona Prince has already promised custom merchandise for fans. Prince has 2.5 million followers on TikTok, blah, blah, blah. Similarly, LSU gymnast Olivia Dunn just launched a billboard in Times Square. Wow. Dunn has 3.9 million followers on TikTok and 1.1 million Instagram followers and is expected to be one of the highest earning college athletes. When the clock struck midnight Thursday, student athletes wasted no time in taking advantage of the opportunity to earn cash. Sisters Hannah and Haley Cameter wasted no time as well. The two Fresno State women's basketball players, I think they're twins, became spokespeople for Boost Mobile, a triumph of the new NCAA endorsement rules. The deal was arranged with Icon Source, a platform that connects athletes and companies. Icon Source says it helps arrange over a dozen endorsements. See, these are white companies, and that's the money guys like me and you were supposed to have because we right there in there. See, our athletes got to be smart, man. They got to stop signing with these people. These kids happen to be white, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Um, Life just got a whole lot sweeter for Auburn quarterback Bo Nix after he announced an endorsement deal with Milo's Tea Company. However, the news left a sour taste in the mouths of Alabama fans. Nix isn't the only Auburn player to strike an endorsement deal. Sean Shivers announced a partnership with Yoke, a platform that allows fans to play video games with and against athletes. That's pretty smart. Um, let's see.
Yeah.
Will Omer is using the rules. He's kicking off his music career. The guitarist and singer posted a message saying he'll be playing live shows under his own name. He'd previously performed as Lucky Bill, which means he had to, perform under this is ridiculous. Let's see. Gable Stevenson of 2021 Wrestling. He got money. Let's see. Dante Allen, the men's basketball. Could be filled with shirts designed by one of the home team players. This Rupp Arena will be filled with shirts designed by one of the home team players. Kentucky men's basketball guard Dante Allen teamed up with the player's trunk and will be coming out with custom merchandise. See, this is great.
Yeah.
Antoine Owens, Jackson State, he's at the black school. Owens inked a deal with Three Kings Grooming, a family black-owned haircut product business. I got to reach out to these people because that's just what I'm talking about. A family black owned hair product business in a midnight announcement from a New York City hotel. The announcement cemented the Jackson State defensive end as one of the first collegiate athletes ever to sign an endorsement deal. Four other Jackson State players also signed deals with that company. I got it. I hope they're publicly trained. I gotta see if we can invest in that, boy. I like the
Yeah.
sound of that company,
Yeah.
man.
This
Like the
is
Cavender system. What'd you say? Go ahead, bro.
just before they sell out to them.
Yes, before the white man gives them an offer they can't refuse and starts
Yeah.
calling them all criminals and alleging that it was all a money laundering scam. You know how they do it.
Yeah.
All right, Lexi Sun, Nebraska women's volleyball. Just hours after it was announced, Nebraska volleyball player Lexi Sun, sounds like a porn name, had an announcement of her own. Sun partnered with Ren Athletics to release her own piece of clothing, the Sunny Crew. Wow. Trey Knox, he got money. It's a brother with locks. Arkansas wide receiver and animal lover. He's got a deal with PetSmart. The partnership is a perfect fit for Knox, who says he's proud to be a dog dad. The social campaign will showcase his love for Blue and will highlight the links PetSmart will go to support pets and pet parents. The deal between PetSmart and Knox was facilitated by Playfly Sports and No Cap Sports. Sounds black owned, both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jordan Bohannon, Iowa's men's basketball Bohannon, one of the faces of the Not NCAA Property Group, pushed for more student athletes' rights during the 2021 tournament. Will make a paid appearance at Iowa City Fireworks Shop. He also plans to make money off his podcast and begun selling personal merchandise. Jared Butler, we'll just skip that. Mackenzie Milton, Florida State football. Nicholas Pettit, Ohio State football. Hersey Miller, that's who you're talking about. Hersey, incoming Tennessee State freshman and son of Master P, signed a deal with Web Apps America for $2 million. Miller would be a brand ambassador for the tech company who's committed to supporting HBCU leaders. Hersey Miller, son of rapper Master P. Let's see. Incoming freshman. I'm interested. Like you said, I want to watch him. Warning signs. Okay. That's it. So those are the ones, man, that have started getting big money already.
Right.
Any thoughts on that?
Man, it's you know, I guess the announcement spearheaded them to develop their ideas to launch as soon as the date hit. Yeah, it's a great thing. Now, I don't like the part that they got to pay their scholarship back. I mean,
that seems weird, don't it?
Yeah, you know. But you know, like I said, they're going to take something if they allegedly are giving you something. To keep your amateur status, you have to pay back your scholarship.
They shouldn't take your scholarship, bro.
Yeah.
A rich person, Bill Gates' son, if he was a number one player in the country in any sport, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They wouldn't punish Bill Gates' son because he was rich.
Right. So I assume that would be the next round.
Remember, that was the same retarded mentality they had when we was on the yard days. Well, if you go out and work, we'll just give you less financial aid. Remember?
Yeah. What?
You're right. Yeah. So you tell me I'm better off sitting on my ass all summer? Yes.
You don't want to mess up financial aid.
Yeah. Every penny you worked for, they just gave you less.
Yeah. So, you know.
They wanted you to eat noodles. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, I know what you guys are doing. I just wanted to get over, above, and beyond. No. You're going to eat noodles and hot dogs. What's wrong with you? We need you going in Quickie still and risking everything. In Quickie Mart. My bad. All right, so here we go.
Hopefully you can survive. Yeah, I mean, that's yeah. So I believe with athletics, it's just going to take the under the table money and put it on the table.
Well, and it can tax it. But Ace, why a bill and not a Supreme Court decision? Like, why wasn't this a Supreme Court? How is this a bill?
Well, it passed. So since it passed, there's no reason to go to the Supreme Court.
Right. I think they knew it was illegal. Like, it's like celebrating Juneteenth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're doing what's right now.
Yeah. But yeah, just as a reactionary action, basically. Yeah, we know Juneteenth we knew all that for all these years, but go ahead and take and we'll figure out a way to take another one away.
And take the low part of that pig and the low part of the liquor left over from when you distilled us all the good shit, and y'all have a party out back. Hey, that's what it was. Hey, and then we'd work magic with all that shit they gave us, boy. Work magic, boy. But profit sharing, is that fair? Meaning, they broke it down. They said it's only baseball, football, and hoops. Years when they were talking about this, they were saying, trying to figure out a way to split the money amongst all college extracurricular activities. So, are you okay with dividing the money amongst the people that's producing the money?
Yeah, because the university provides the athletic scholarship,
Facts,
correct,
facts.
and
Yeah.
and the the revenue generating sports, which are football and basketball. I don't know where baseball comes from. They call it a non-revenue generating sports. You have to
I
be in.
know, yeah, they're contradicting what you're telling me. Apparently, I bet you some of those bigger programs are generating money. Some of those
Oh
Florida
yeah,
and California programs, yeah.
SEC and
Uh huh.
those type of programs. They generate money up and down all the way across the
Uh huh.
entire year. So, especially football, because they're challenging for the national championship every year, and then they all have the SEC TV deal, which they all share revenue from.
Ace,
So
this
now
might help baseball too, huh? So some of those hot studs who were going to the minors might now say, "Man, I'm going to college."
I don't know. I mean, Major League Baseball has
Take the kid that came out of Jackie Robinson that just signed with, you know what I'm talking about.
the
What if
Cubs.
Nike had came to him and said, "Hey, look, you know, man, we got 10 million for you, or 2 million. Just say 2 million." That kid
Yeah,
might have considered,
going to
man, I
college.
can go down to U of I. Right.
Right.
Yeah. I can go
Yeah,
down to U of I. I got this 2 mil. I'm gonna go down there. I can do all types of stuff now to make money.
yeah. I can work out. I can get stronger,
Man.
and I can enjoy my life for a few years before I got to work for the rest of my life.
I can get a free pizza when I walk into the pizza thing and my, you know what I mean? And everybody's watching my game and me on TV.
Yeah, yeah. They can have a picture of me right in front of the restaurant holding one of their pizzas. Yeah,
Yeah.
all of that. So
And paying
yeah,
me for that.
yeah. But it may help because baseball doesn't get.
Nobody's watching the minor leagues. It may help baseball. Yeah, yeah. Hopefully some of that talent will start going to colleges now.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
hopefully it helps some of the African
Imagine Ken
American
Griffey
players.
Jr. if he was in, if he played for a college, bro, and Barry Bonds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it definitely would excite the game, and it will increase the television revenue. So
Doc Gooden, bro, running around
yeah,
Villanova or Georgetown throwing 100 miles an hour.
throwing cocaine and throwing 100 miles an hour.
Man, man. And I'm talking about good cocaine because now he's got money. And
Yeah,
everybody ain't telling me he wrong for taking money.
and the after party. Oh my gosh.
Man. And you remember all the hey bro, you remember all the what do they call them? The Blazers, all the Chevy Blazers we had in Champaign
Yeah, yeah,
back during our run. Boy, imagine the
yeah,
cars they would have had. They had
yeah.
now. Boy.
Maserati, Porsche,
Yeah.
Lambo trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're in college. Oh my goodness.
Oh man. That's what I'm saying, Ace. Now it's like a bonus. A lot of people would, because it's like Kwame say, man, when you get 17, 18, 19, and you go off to the pros, that's a job. And
Yeah,
you know as a man the difference between, okay, I'm in college and I'm able to transition from, high school to reality.
right.
Yeah, but when
Yeah.
shit,
And
man, they paying you.
You can have those bad nights. Break up with a girl, or whatever. Have to go to McKill meet or whatever. When you're in college, but
Correct.
when you're playing pro ball, you can't have those faux pas. You can't have
Hey,
those mistakes.
and it's weird too now, Ace, because the coach, you're a coach in college, and you're telling that kid, remember those kids used to be. I'm not talking about the All Americans and all conference ones, but the lessers.
Yeah,
Man, they were almost like slaves trying to do everything not to lose that scholarship, bro. Remember,
yeah,
it became, yeah. And the coach would
yeah.
be looking for a reason to, yeah, yes.
You sign that year-to-year contract. Yeah, we're giving you a scholarship, but you gotta earn this
Yeah,
every year.
yeah, yeah. So now if I'm rich already, the coach don't really have no. I'm saying that y'all done took the tuition money back out of my money.
Yeah,
So, coach, what are you providing me?
yeah, because you work for
Right,
me.
right, right. Or I'm an independent contractor.
Right. So you got to sell me to go with your shoe company, or because your shoe company's going to take money away because they want
Right.
this kid to have some money too. So
Nice. Now you're gonna have to grease your own professors. The coaches ain't gonna do it no more because you got your own damn money. So you
Yeah,
remember how they bribing all the professors and making stuff happen?
yeah.
Now you got to have the people to take your tests. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe that part be part of the negotiation for to go with the coach's shoe company. It's
Well, listen,
it's up.
kids, if you
It'll be
don't
up
want
to
to
the
take the
agency.
test, don't go to college. Right? You can go overseas at this point now. You know what I mean? Seriously, that's what I would say. Yeah,
PDL if you
yeah.
good enough, that good.
Man, if you cold, you can take the year off and work at Popeye's Chicken. They'll still take you the next year in the NBA if you over 6'7".
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They'd be like, "You made Popeye's Chicken all year." It'll be an owner who likes that. Yeah, when I was 18, I did the same thing. You know what I mean?
Work
Right,
my
right.
way up. Work my way up by my bootstraps.
Hey, Ace, and I bet you they lying. You know what I mean? The ones who give you that good story, the ones who give you that real good story, Ace, I bet you they be lying.
Yeah.
That be the one that ain't did none of it.
Be like 45. Yeah. I had to make it off a $5 million loan for my dad to see if
Trust
I
fund. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. All right, Ace. So all right, so wait a minute here. What the
Pull
hell is
myself
this?
up by the bootstraps.
Larry Legend. I think
Make it in this
Palmer.
land of milk and honey.
Yeah, making it into the land of milk and honey. All right, all right, you feel like that's fair. Now here's something I question. Scholarships are extended for whatever duration necessary to get a degree. The coaches no longer can select. They used to have influence over majors. So some of those kids that was doing basket weaving and all that, they had no choice. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, look, kid, nobody's wasting any energy and time on you. And you know what I mean? None of the
Yeah.
professors want to deal with you. You got a 2 on your SAT. You know what I'm trying to But now they have no control over that. Scholarships could be extended for whatever duration. You could be a Tony player out there. What do they mean? That's what they said. Oh, I'll be down there milking that boy. Once you get a scholarship, you can hit a
Yeah.
jackpot, man.
Yeah, you talking about 10, 15 years or something, guys. Yeah, I
You
didn't
know,
make it in. I didn't make it to the league, but I got this boatload of money I made while I was playing, and I'm on scholarship for the next 8 years,
trying to finish my degree.
trying to finish my degree. Yeah.
I mean, Ace, you could take a 3-hour course every semester. I mean, they didn't think that one through. I read that in the bill. I'm like, man, there's no man.
They're gonna have a little sidebar on those.
They're gonna come across a Tony player. He's gonna be grandfathered in. You know what I mean? There'll be no more of him behind him. How old are you? I'm 67 years old. You know what I'm saying? All right.
Now that's probably when you'll get to the Supreme Court when they
So
start challenging.
the extended health care, Ace, how you feel about that?
I mean, it's a very good thing because some of these kids they give their bodies to do whatever they can to fulfill those scholarships. So uh, once once their tenure there at the school is over, yeah, there's no reason that they shouldn't have health care. The faculty has health care, and they have tenure at the school, so let the kids
Yeah,
have
but this
health
was
care.
more for your kid got some sort of injury, and then that's how they were doing those kids, man. You remember, you
Yeah,
get hurt, and then next season you didn't come back from it, and they be canceling their scholarships, bro.
yeah,
And you
you'll
ain't
be
got
at
no health care.
Popeyes.
You go, yeah, and you go to McKinley, and they like, let me see your school ID. But I'm such and such.
Yeah,
Where's your ID?
let me run it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you got a back injury for the rest of your life, and like you said, at Popeyes.
Computer says yeah,
Yeah, the
you're not
computer.
covered.
Yeah, and they got some Karen, white supremacist Karen up there, loving it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I mean, if I could do it, I would. No, you wouldn't. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
because you can do it.
You can't. It's a
But
kid.
you would be putting your job on the line. You know what I mean? But you could do it for my black ass. But why would you? You know what I'm
Just look
saying?
at my damn back. Yeah.
You
X-ray,
know,
tell me something. Shit. Yeah.
that's when Karen be like, "Well, you don't have to use profanity. You don't have
Should
to
I
talk
get
to me
so
like I'm
angry?
right, right, right. You don't have to talk to me like I'm retarded." All right, here we
Right.
go. I digress. All right. All right. How does this keep jumping to this one? All right. This keeps jumping to last week's roll. All right. So we got that profit sharing. All right. We did the extended degrees. Here's something I don't know about. So, am I understanding this right in the bill, Ace? You can return to school up to 7 days after being drafted. Somehow, this can be a problem. So, I come out, I get drafted by the Cleveland Browns, and I don't want to play for Cleveland. And I go back to college. What do the Cleveland Browns do?
I think there's a caveat
They own your rights.
for the lower draft picks, second round picks in the NBA, or the 6th and 7th round football players that I didn't make it to the pick I wanted to be, so I can go.
I got what you're saying. It ain't gonna be your top 2 rounds in football,
Yeah,
for instance.
yeah,
Because that can, or they own your rights though. I guess you can go back. I'm taking a risk drafting you, Ace. You decide, nah, I'm going back amateur, but I own your rights
right,
when you do come out,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Well, I think it'll probably be something there where, depending on when you come out, you'd be
You wouldn't be
draft.
back in the draft. Hell no. You already were drafted. That's how I would do it. I
Yeah,
don't know. I have to look into it. You would say if your son comes out, man, he got drafted. Man, I don't want to. It's not about because this would prevent someone saying, I don't want to play for them. So let me go back to school. So now, okay, but they own your rights. So whenever you come out, buddy, so that means in my scenario, the Cleveland Browns, that next season, they would still have their other draft and they'll have you coming in too.
yeah. You're still your master.
Correct.
Your
But I
owner.
don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, they own your rights, but I don't know, Ace. I didn't research that. You know
well,
what I'm saying?
I'm sure all that'll come out and develop as time goes on.
Yeah, they're making it up like the Peter Pandemic. Are former slaves, or former slave athletes due reparations? What about those athletes what about the Irvin Smalls? Package deals. All the ones who didn't get paid. Played
Um,
big time sports.
are they due reparations?
Yeah.
Why not? Why not? The money's
Do
available.
it.
We just came up with $1 trillion to fight a war in 20 years in Afghanistan. We just came up with a couple $1 trillion to send checks to every damn body. They got the money. Why not?
And they just won't learn. They try the same shit everywhere they go.
Yeah.
Brute force, guns and power. And you see, Ace, it's just like roaches and rats. As soon as you pull up, as soon as you turn, man, the planes was barely in the air.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same way on the block, ain't it? They take the police and put them in the hot areas, and everybody in the nice areas robbing and shooting and twerking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Only in
You have
America.
to you got to fix the problem, right? You got to educate. You got to, feed people,
Yeah.
But that ain't how America roll. No, we just brute force people. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, um, athletes benefiting today, we did that. The ones who already signed deals. So we covered that. So overall, Ace, before we wrap it up, before your final thoughts, and you can actually, when you get into it, you can throw it in. You can, mesh it into that. I'll lead into this part. How do you feel about pay for play, and ultimately how it's being handled? So for me, I feel like we can take what we can get. I would have been ecstatic about this. Let's say if I was, an athlete in high school right now. Oh boy, I would be ecstatic as fuck. Especially if I had any kind of all area, all conference, all state behind me. Oh, you kids out there who can hear my voice, take it to that next level because, you can really change your life. You could really, really change your life, and and make a decent, amount of cash here. So that's how I feel about it. And as far as how they're, handling it, I feel like something's better than nothing. Obviously, it could be, handled better, but I think, as they work through it, as you start any endeavor, you don't know what you don't know until you, take your first step forward and take your first step. So that would be, my thoughts. And I believe the co-hosts may have gotten booted. Don't know what the situation is there. But you guys, as far as Wednesday's show on the Self Love Show, we're celebrating our first anniversary show. It's been 1 year on Thursday. So big ups to the co-host Tori Wordsmith and yours truly. Also the executive producer Yashua. Big ups. It's been Yashua's will that we made it through 1 year. So the goal on that show is we're going to ask some previous guests to see if they'll come back and be on a panel. TATN is going to put together a nice little video with some of the highlights throughout the year. Of course, we did have some videos that were deleted, unfortunately, or hacked, but that's all part of the growth. So Ace, now that you're back in the building, what I was asking, bro. Oh, my bad. I hit the wrong button. What I was asking, bro, is for you to comment on how you feel about how this pay for play, how they're handling it, the rollout, and then mesh that into your final words, and then we'll close out. I already did my final.
All right, well, I think the pay for play is it was something that's a long time coming. The problem that I see is the ambiguity and the laws that were set forth, and it's going to be trial and error. Figure out what's going on as far as the athletes' healthcare is concerned, the endorsements, the taking back of the scholarships, the amount of money that these kids are going to be able to make, the kickback from the coaches who are making all the money and making all the decisions and were able to force their athletes to do whatever they want to do to keep scholarship. So it's going to change the dynamic of the NCAA, the NAIA, to whatever divisions that these athletes play in, to the point where they won't be just a student athlete. They're business people now that have a right to monetize their name, their image, their likeness, and they're not just put on a path to either you go pro or you graduate or you just leave the school. You can monetize your name. You can put something in the bank for yourself. So if you don't graduate, you have money. If you want to continue your education after your playing career is over, you have money, and you can also keep going as far as educating yourself to the point that, because of your scholarship and these rule changes. So it's something that student athletes needed for the last, however many years, especially since African Americans have been able to compete on the Division I level along by others. So it's a great thing. I have a friend of my wife's son who's is going to be one of the top offensive linemen in the country in the next 2 years. He's got about 50 offers. So.
Is he a ginger?
He's purebred African American. He's a good kid, preacher's kid. So I can't wait to see him go through this process and be able to monetize his name and take care of the people he want to take care of, as well as enjoy life in college before his eventual ascension to the NFL. So, and especially in college football, as far as injuries are concerned, kids get hurt all the time, and they end up having to transfer because the school doesn't want them anymore. Or the bigger schools, they get bigger, better, healthier athletes the next year. Especially in the SEC, you see all these quarterbacks. Even the quarterback the Bears have now, Justin Fields, came from Georgia, and eventually ended up at Ohio State. I think it's definitely a good thing. It'll give the student athlete some kind of leverage initially, as far as what they want to do, as far as the school and athletics are concerned, and monetizing their name versus just being a slave. Go student athletes. I hope this works out for you. Do the right thing. Take care of your families. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your bodies. And good luck to you.
I tell you what, bro. The transfer portal, you mentioned that. Yeah, that's changed. They opened that up a lot. I think one thing I forgot to mention, Ace, is ball. We did talk about ball earlier, but we didn't tie together the effect that decision he made. Everybody can talk their ass off about we want to do the right thing. Sometimes, when you're negotiating, you got to have people start going to black colleges like we see happening. You got to start having people saying, you know what, screw y'all. I'm going to go over there and take that deal and play over in London or wherever it is. I'm going to live in a shithole country. Hey, if it's a shithole country, guess what? If I live in a shithole community within the greatest country in the world, guess what?
Right.
I'm in a third world shithole country. Hey,
Yeah.
you asked me to do it for a year and make a bag?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that ball boy we mentioned and his dad had a lot and other players making that decision, starting making that decision, had a lot to do with the NCAA saying, man, we got to let them do something.
Yeah.
And the last thing, bro, we'll talk about next week later. We'll let y'all know that offensive lineman kid who you said is not a ginger. Let's talk to him, see if he'll come on Mouthpiece included. You know what I mean? Well, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We'll do our first interview with him, get something down. And, he don't have to be on the whole show. Maybe 5-10 minute blurb. He keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Yes, sir. Hey, so if you ain't got nothing, Ace, next week, y'all, we may pre-record. One of us is going to be okay. All right, cool. But one of us is going to be traveling though, so I'm gonna be traveling. So, yeah. So we're gonna have to pre-record probably. So we'll talk about it, Ace. But the show will go up at the same time on Thursday. If it doesn't, then we'll let you know when it does go up. So you guys make sure when you out here in these streets, make sure you guard your grill. Knuckle up. Watch 12.
Most definitely.
Watch Pookie.
Definitely.
And don't forget to. Yeah, you better watch Pookie. While you're looking for 12, Pookie will get you. And while you're looking for Pookie, there's 12.
There's 12, so.
And don't forget to.
Get it.
And don't forget to.
Yeah.
And don't forget to bring your mouthpiece.